I made it. I made it. What's going on, everybody? Um, Welcome to another episode of a post show for you guys, dude. For you guys. We got some people in the chat already. Check it out. Anakin, the biggest fan of. Oh, you know what? Over. The biggest fan of Magomed Ankalaev himself. Ankalaev time and no Chama. Sean Moody. Super Shotgun says at least John has nowhere left to run now. No more excuses. He either fights Tom or retires. A duck that will stain his legacy forever. I was kind of under the impression that maybe they'd give Tom the Alex fight if he won. So yeah. I mean, I don't know. Apparently, it's rumored that fight's going to happen. Tom versus John. Dana said he's going to work on it, but we all know that Dana White is a notorious liar. So, but it's good to see you, Super Shotgun. What is up, JL? Dude, been a minute. Kudos to Ankalaev. He did what he had. Oh, this guy is writing a whole book here in the chat, but let's read it. Kudos to Ankalaev. He did what he had to do to win the belt. Can't blame it on excessive hugging. He was closest to finishing the fight. We all have to give Ankalaev his credit and flowers. He stood with Pereira and won the striking exchanges. That second round was nuts. Alex almost got knocked out. I personally believe Alex was too focused. Too focused on the threat of the takedown that he forgot he had his own path to victory as well. Alex got beaten. That's that. I'm disappointed Gamrot didn't get the opportunity as well. We saw he would have put on a better performance than Viziev gasses out after a round and a half. I feel bad for Turner. He's clearly going through something, and he's only 29 and retiring. There's a lot to unpack there. So, and we'll kind of get into it a little more. The first thing I'll say is, yes, certainly. Now, some people, and that's kind of why I clickbaited like the title of the video. Some people were saying that Alex Pereira got robbed and like they scored it for him. I personally think that's a consequence of the commentary team being very biased. Anytime Alex would land a jab, they'd be like, "Oh my god!" So for me, I don't think Alex Pereira had a case to win that fight. I could see where you could fudge it, and Alex wins 2 rounds. But just for me personally, I had Ankalaev like 4-1. We got to give Ankalaev his credit. Yeah, I mean, certainly I definitely picked Alex to win, right? And I don't think that I think most people did, right? But Ankalaev, I mean, it's weird because you would have thought he would have wrestled him, which he did. He did. In my opinion, he won the fight mostly on cage control, but by the end of the fight, I think, and I have the stats here. We can just get right into the stats. Like check out these stats; they're crazy. 1 second, sorry. So officially on Fight Center, my head is really small here. I see Chummy Boy in denial in the chat. I'm just trying to address all of JL's talking points, and then we'll move on. But if you look here on the stats, man, this is crazy to me. 25 minutes of fighting between Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira officially lands 11 strikes to the head. 48 leg kicks, but 11 strikes to the head through 25 minutes, man. So Ankalaev outstruck Alex. So I didn't see it going that way necessarily. But there was a fight, Alex Pereira's last fight in kickboxing. It was against Artem Vahikov, which, by the way, Where the fuck has he been? Because he made his debut on the Contender Series and got a contract, and the guy's just nowhere to be found. But if you watch that fight, Alex Pereira lost that fight in a very similar fashion. Like, just didn't do anything. He didn't really do much at all in his loss to Artem Vahitov. Both fights were competitive because it was a rematch. But yeah, man, you're just like, dude, I don't know, man. It's just like, in my opinion, like you can't ever really complain about the result of a fight if you don't fight enough, right? And Alex Pereira after the fight was like, "Oh, he just came here to wrestle and clinch me," and it's like, "Yeah, dude, it's because it's MMA." And I give credit to Ankalaev for not fighting the same way everybody else did. And DC at one point in the commentary was like, "Hey, if the crowd's booing, Ankalaev's winning," and that held true. Let's see. I personally believe Uncle Alex was too focused on the threat of the takedown. That could have been it, dude. Alex Pereira. I mean, let's look at the stats here. 0 for 12. Alex Pereira held Ankalaev to no takedowns officially. He shot for 12, dude. Good shit from Alex on that front. Yeah, he just was like gun. I don't know what he was. He just like gave the fight to Ankalaev. Disappointed Gamrot didn't get the opportunity. I mean, I understand you're disappointed in the opportunity and you think he would have put on a better performance. To me, the fight was great. But also you have to understand that the UFC hates Gamrot. So, as much as you feel a certain way about Gamrot, like the UFC does not like the guy. And it is what I'm not even sitting here saying like they're justified in that. But yeah. And we'll talk about what's next for Gaethje. Feel bad for Turner. He's clearly going through something, and he's only 29. I mean, he's 1-4 in his last 5. You got to know when to hold him and when to fold him in the MMA game. I don't think he's done personally, but certainly he has put on some good fights. So don't believe Dana's lies. Yeah, facts. Looked like a normal fight to me. What's up, chummy boy? I'm not trying to be that guy, but now I see why they didn't book Alex against Ankalaev earlier. Facts. One guy did his homework, another just can't adjust, but that's the fight game. Yeah. R word it was, but not the other R word needs to happen. Rematch. Yes. I wanted to see Ankalaev like fight smart so he could get a guaranteed rematch. Alex kind of got outclassed, minus the leg kicks. What else did he do? Nothing. He showed really good takedown defense, but it almost like he focused so much on the takedown aspect, just from what I saw, that he just forgot to like do Alex Pereira things. Dude, Jones would destroy Tom. Whoa, that is controversial. I don't think he would. That's why we got to see the fight. Strange stats: 0 takedowns, and Ankalaev wins. Def with more strikes landed. Who would? Yeah, right. Turner was never that good. I mean, like to be ranked in the top 10 or top 15 in your weight class is like pretty exceptional, especially at lightweight. So I would kind of disagree. I mean, was he ever like a top 5 or like championship level guy? No, but I mean, I think that's kind of crazy to just be like, he was never that good anyway. It's like he was like top 15 in his weight class in lightweight. That's pretty good. But it is good to see you, Klaus. Hope you're doing well down there in Florida. Jones has to fight Aspinall now. I hope so. Now Alex is making excuses like Hill did. Yeah. But to be fair, I think he's just... Bro's pride is kind of hurt, man. He's not as stoic as we thought. He just didn't hug him. He didn't just hug him by round 5. Alex knew he was losing. He should have went for broke. Yeah. He wasn't robbed. He was waiting for the big opportunity that never came. Yeah. No, and the title's a little clickbaity. I just saw people saying he deserved to win. By the way, did you guys see that Did you guys see that fan? Here, maybe we should show it. Did you guys see that fan that fucking broke his TV? Maybe I shouldn't show it because it has UFC like material in it. But it is good to see you, Sika Kaki. Sorry. He gave Gamrot and Hooker their hardest fights. Turner is underrated. I don't know about underrated, but yeah, he's a good fighter. To me, standing clinch is part of striking, but you know where I come from. Yeah, I mean it is grappling, but I can kind of see what you're saying. Do you think Alex will rematch or move to heavyweight? Rematch is if it was me, like I'd rematch. I mean, dude, let's look at this. Like outside of him getting rocked by Ankalaev, there wasn't really much danger there. And I've always questioned whether or not Alex like has a solid chin. Not saying he's chinny, but I mean he can be knocked out, right? And even worse when he was at middleweight. You of all people using the R word was guaranteed view from me. Oh, Rob. No, it was a clickbaity title. I mean, to be honest, like I'm just asking a question. You know, betting is a hell of a drug, right? I love fighting, but I never take it to the point of destroying my things. Yeah, no doubt. That guy, dude, you guys gotta watch that. Gosh, I wish I could drop it in the chat. Turner is Dober level at best. That'd be a good fight. That fight showed us he's not a heavyweight for sure. I don't know, man. And again, like, look, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, dude, I told you this would happen because I didn't. I knew this was a possibility. I officially picked Alex Pereira to win, and I picked him to win by decision. I know a lot of people were going with the knockout, but this is what happens when. Okay, so I mean, let's look at it. Like Khalil Roundtree gonna have a kickboxing match with Alex Pereira, Yuri, Jamal Hill, Blachowicz had a good, competitive fight with him. But mostly people are just trying to kickbox, dude. Just about everybody in the UFC has tried to kickbox Alex Pereira, and look how it goes. And Magomed Ankalaev didn't do much different than that, but he was willing to have a boring fight and have people boo him. So I think just as long as you're not playing into Alex Pereira's game of like, let's just stand and throw him and have a kickboxing match, you can beat him, you know? But if you're gonna just go, hey, I'm gonna just stand and strike with this guy like Sean Strickland, you're gonna lose that fight, you know? I think Alex getting rocked made him nervous in the takedowns and stand up. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, he just didn't do anything. It was weird to watch, and maybe that's true. But it was definitely strange. Wonder how much money dude who wrecked that TV lost. let's say like a G. I mean, Ankalaev addressed the left hook, addressed the mid guard. Then what next? Yeah, he really did a fantastic job of neutralizing all the offense of Alex Pereira. And I'm not gonna sit here and like, dude, that commentary team was trash during that fight. Alex would land a jab. Oh my gosh, the jab of Alex Pereira, you know, and then he land a leg kick. They're like, that leg is beat up. And to be fair, I mean, it was. It did look like his leg was red. I think he was limping a little bit after the first round, but it didn't really matter. I mean, Alex just like, I don't know, man. This was definitely like a possibility. His most dangerous fight in the weight division, right? Style matchup. But 37-year-old Alex Pereira being a little gun shy is not a good look for me. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, dude, now Alex Pereira's washed, whatever. And the thing that bothers me the most about this fight is I was finally done doubting Alex Pereira. Like, I'm like, this dude's going to win every time. Doesn't matter. And this is to take nothing away from the run he went on, dude. Here's the guy that came up from kickboxing and won 2 titles in the UFC. You probably never see that again. But I don't know, man. Is the jig up? You know, do we finally have a clear and concise way of this is how you beat Alex Pereira? You know what I'm saying? Just clinch him, whatever. You know, can't even step into that leg kick after round 1. Yeah. Alex came in with with the usual game plan, compromise the legs and look for an opening where he can deliver a knockout punch. Ankalaev's legs didn't give in, was able to eat a few hits, and then played it safe. Yeah, that's a really good breakdown of the fight. I personally don't think Alex wins a rematch. Yeah, people thought it was really close. People, whatever. You know, I didn't think it was very close. The only way he wins a rematch is if he catches him, right? But yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's just pretty much how I saw the fight. I thought Alex was really gun shy and it was a strange match. Um, but yeah, what do you guys think? Should there be a rematch? I think that's the only viable option, the only option that makes sense. I think Denial has a good point. I don't know. I don't like his chances up at heavyweight. Um, Alex would let his hands go much more in the rematch, knowing he can easily stuff a takedown. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, dude, he stuffed all like even in a loss, he showed us a new wrinkle to his game. It's just weird. Like I always just get nervous when a fighter is so gun shy. You know, like I mean, that's the first sign of a declining fighter is they don't let their hands go. I mean, look at T Wood, right? Guy would just do fuck all in a fight. Colby Covington, do fuck all in a fucking fight. How exactly is this a close? Is this close? People say that, but I don't. Okay, let me go to MMA decisions. MMA decisions. Okay, you've got. Yeah, I'll show you right here, buddy. And I don't have any skin in the game whatsoever. Hey, man, I don't either necessarily. Yeah, let's check this out, guys. Good old MMA decisions. Let me make myself a little smaller here. So all the judges gave Alex Pereira the first round. 2 of the judges gave him the 5th round, and Sal D'Amato gave Ankalaev 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's how I scored it. But if you have the media, pretty split on this one. One media member giving it a draw, and you had Danny Segura of MMA Junkie, pretty reputable guy, Nolan King, and Alexander K. Lee of MMA Fighting. You had, let's see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 media members scoring it for Alex, and one giving it a draw. I personally don't agree with any of that. How do you score that draw? Yeah, right. No 10-8 or 10-9. I agree with that. That doesn't even make sense. A rematch for sure will happen if Ankalaev stays champion long enough. That will rake in some numbers. Why would Dana say no? Yeah. I was praying for Ankalaev to lose. Oh, Mushaid. Damn, dude. This guy's a savage. How is Sal D'Amato even employed? Dude, that's how I scored the fight. How did you score the fight? I gave 4 rounds to Ankalaev. I prayed that I would pray 5 times a day all Ramadan that Alex would win, but Allah didn't listen to me. Gotta pray harder, man. Hey, what's up, Isha? Good to see you, man. Media doing its things, yeah. Yeah, a draw? Like, a draw. Okay. Employed in General Sal is a retard most of the time. Yeah, he's the parlay killer. All right. Let's go to the next fight though, and we could talk about Alex and Uncle Ive later. And once I get through all the rest of the fights, you guys are more than welcome to hop in and share your thoughts as well. Okay, so let's get to the co-main event. It was just Gaethje versus Fiziev. First round, Fiziev is fighting fantastic. Protest smoking in the arena stole the show. That was gangster as shit. And we'll talk about the fighting nerds. But yeah, the first round. Oh yeah, this is for Protest. I moke a cigarette. I only watched the main event, just waiting to yap. All right. So yeah, the first round, Fiziev is like, dude. He goes now. Did he go for a takedown or did he just like seize the opportunity and trip Justin? That's kind of how I saw it. He gets him in a reverse triangle. It's kind of crazy to see, and Fiziev just like using all his tools. Those knees, the kicks are on point, and then Justin Gaethje does Justin Gaethje things, knocks down Fiziev in the second round, takes over with the uppercuts. Leg kicks didn't play much of a factor. He only landed 7 leg kicks in this fight, mostly just targeting the head. 56 shots to the head. Fiziev is credited with 2 takedowns, but yeah, I mean, I think that the fight went exactly or not exactly how I thought. That first round was surprising, to say the least. But yeah, man, Gaethje just kind of trudged through and just kind of did Gaethje shit and overwhelmed him by the end of the fight. Fight was amazing after the fight. Justin has nothing but nice things to say to Gaethje. Or sorry, he has nothing but nice things to say to Fiziev, and he says we should train together and let's never fight again unless it's for a belt. I love that. Look, how could you not love Justin Gaethje in the cage? But I'm not a fan of the guy outside of the cage. You claim to be a patriot, yet you go over to Chechnya and you hang out with Ramzan Kadyrov. I'll never forgive him. I'll always hold that against him. But yeah, it seems like a genuinely nice dude. Just does Justin Gaethje. Sick fight again. Love Fiziev, and Justin adjusted and landed that step back right after every clinch. Yeah, I noticed that he was landing a right hand after to break off the clinch. Did you see when they were clinched up and he landed a fucking head kick? Like, what the hell? Justin Gaethje also in the back. Did you see him warming up? He was doing like a handstand push up, and then he did a backflip. You're like, this guy is crazy athletic. He used all his tools. Justin just tough as nails. Shows how good Max is. Oh my gosh, Max is just masterful. It sucks. Ilya Taporia, man. I mean, god damn that fucking guy, man. What a bastard. His gloves with no UFC logo. Yeah. He I guess he had rubbed him off in training. The guy was training so hard. The guy's a fucking animal. But the most pressing thing I think we should talk to, who's this new guy you have on your channel? I mean, I've seen you in the chat plenty of times. This is not Hank the Tank. This is the ID Fight Fan, Idaho Fight Fan. It was good to see you not in the AM, bro. Do I look different? I guess I am getting scruffy. Khabib. Love the warm-up gloves and didn't want to change them. Yeah. So I guess the most pressing question is who is next for Justin Gaethje? Give me your thoughts. Give me your matchmaking suggestions. Gaethje's in a weird position though, man, because he just got knocked out. No, yesterday. Hey, listen. Whatever he was on with Hank, brother. Whatever Hank does, like I can't. I don't know what he's doing. As for who the new guy was on the channel with him, I couldn't tell you, man. That's a great question. Your guess is as good as mine. Some fucking guy. I don't know, man. And look, it's half Hank's channel. You can do whatever he wants. So I didn't even watch the stream. So, but yeah, I don't know. Daniel Hernandez, good to see you. He says Taporia versus Gaethje. Not a bad suggestion. Give him Hooker in 5 months. I mean, I guess. I mean, here's the thing. Um, my opinion is like Gaethje's in a weird position because the guy doesn't have many fights left in him, right? If he fights Hooker, who is ranked, I mean, what does that really do for him? I care. Let's check out the rankings real quick. We're gonna use UFC rankings because Justin is in the top 5. Okay, so you've got Islam the champ, Armin 1, Charles 2, Justin 3, Dustin 4, Max 5, Dan 6, Chandler 7, 8, Gamrot 9, Ben Neil Dariush somehow, and Moicano 10. All right. So if I had the magic wand and it was me, lightweight rankings are still a bit whack because the older guys, so many prospects coming up. Yeah. If it was me, right, I would do. This is one scenario, right? You do Taporia, Islam, but see, even then, it's like it would. This plays into it for me. Imagine that actually happens, right? Taporia fights Islam, and then what? Islam beats another featherweight coming up, another featherweight champion coming up. Like that's the potential. Or he loses to a featherweight, and you're going, okay, well, what was Islam's legacy? It's a weird thing. I mean, and then also here's the other thing is like if you do because Dana White is pretty pissed off at Arman Sarukian for pulling out of the Islam fight. So they said that he's got to fight another fight to get back in the title picture. So personally, for me, I would like to see Justin versus Arman. I think that's a good fight, and that would do good things for both men if they won that fight. And I think that would make them the rightful number 1 contender. But then you've also got Charles waiting out there. He keeps winning. Everybody loves Charles. So it's like, okay, you give Charles the Islam fight, you do Arman versus Justin. And then there's the issue with Ilia Topuria, right? Like, who does Ilia Topuria fight then? Like, does he fight Dustin Poirier? He just knocked out Max Holloway, number 5 in the rankings. And I understand. I understand Isha like advocating for the Dan Hooker fight. I just think that the best if used by date on that fight is expired. Because I mean, dude, look, I fucking love Dan Hooker. One of my favorite fighters ever that I've had the pleasure of watching his career. I think the first time I watched him fight was the fight before the Dustin fight. And then I watched the Dustin fight in an empty Apex, and that was amazing. But I don't rate Dan Hooker very highly anymore. Like I understand he's in the top 10 in lightweight, but it's like I think the fight will be as exciting as Fiziev fights. Okay, but like we're talking about a Dan Hooker, or we're talking about a Justin Gaethje who doesn't have many fights left. If you give him Arman and he loses, then in my opinion, like his career's done. And I'm not saying because he's washed or anything. It's just he said himself he doesn't have many fights left. I understand that it's hard for fighters to stop. But in my opinion, that would be like the best scenario for his career. He fights Arman, he's the number 1 contender. Whether or not Islam moves up or whatever happens, if he fights Dan Hooker, like, does that make him the rightful number 1 contender? In my opinion, it doesn't. And then he's got to fight one more, to be the rightful number 1 contender. So that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Um, Ignacio versus Dariush. We'll talk about that. I love the Hooker fight. If there was any title shot there was to rig it, should have been less. You guys are pissed that Ankalaev won. Yo, Pereira is bigger than Ankalaev. Did you guys see how effortlessly Pereira threw him on the ground after the bell rang at the end of the third round? It looked like Pereira was holding back. Dude, it was a weird fight. We just finished talking about it, Tress. But yeah, it was in my opinion, Pereira just kind of let that one. It sucks that we're sitting here talking about what Pereira didn't do and not what Ankalaev was able to achieve in that fight. Justin beats Hooker and loses to Arman. Dude, I feel exactly the same way. I think the fight will be as exciting as Fiziev fights. Yeah. Lightweight is too clogged. Charles is right there too. He needs 2 wins regardless. You think? Even if he beats Arman Saruki and you think he needs another fight? I think that's the only viable like one fight path to the title. I do understand what you're saying and that it's too clogged, so you probably need another one. Against Hooker, another old guy. I guess I can. You know what? I think you're right. I think that Arman is a much better fight for him though. But see, then again, we're sitting here like, okay, let's say Justin beats Arman, he beats Hooker, whatever. He gets those 2 fights and he fights Islam. Let's say Islam's still the champion. Like Islam defends his title against Arman, or sorry, Ilya, and then he beats Justin Gaethje. Like his legacy sucks ass. Name wise at lightweight. You're just sitting there going like, well, he just beat the guys that fucking Khabib beat. Like however many years ago. It's like you watch the Jackson podcast. Bear is oddly obsessed with Arman and pays his rent. Didn't know that. Thought Arman had a lot of money. He's behind Charles and Arman, IMO. Each need 1 more win. Justin needs 2, I think, unless it's Charles and Arman, like you said. Charles or Arman. Yeah. Yeah. I can agree with you there. The only problem is that I understand what you're saying, and I think that that's correct meritocratically, but Islam has already fought Charles and Arman. Like he hasn't fought Justin Gaethje yet. So it's a fresh matchup. That's all I'm saying in my mind. Like Justin Gaethje's I guess a better fight. Like I think Arman's the rightful #1 contender, but Dana White mad at him now. I think Justin's the best fight for Islam. Even over Topuria. That might be controversial. But I just that's how I feel. And I wouldn't mind you give Charles the shot and you have Ilya versus Justin, but I mean seriously, if Ilya would like what is your guys' preferred fight for Ilya at lightweight for his first fight? Let me know. But if he has 2 to 3 more fights left in him, 3 if a title shot, I think the UFC wants 2 more. Yeah. So many lightweights won't retire, and others have been just as or more active. Yeah. Give him John Silva then. Fuck it. Who? Ilya? Or Justin? Or Islam? Like give John Silva the title shot? I'm totally with that. I love that guy. Ilya versus Oliveira. If I was Ilya Topuria, like I'll give John Silva Justin. Dude, I'm thinking dude, I'm sold on Silva. Love that guy. Okay, if I'm Ilya Topuria, like I'm fighting for the belt first fight, right? I don't really think he needs another fight at lightweight. Also, like business wise, it's like why? Why fucking give the champion at featherweight who gave his belt up another fight at lightweight? Like for what reason? Now, unless that reason, and you guys are gonna hate me saying this, unless that fight at lightweight is Conor McGregor at International Fight Week for the BMF title. I know. Kill me in the chat. And I'm not even saying like that's a fight. I mean that's this kind of fight, right? Right there. That fight oozes revenue for the UFC and thus negotiations for extra money. Charles versus Matador? Wait, explain that to me. You're gonna have to explain that to me because how does it ooze money for the UFC? Like, you're telling me Charles versus Ilya is a pay-per-view main event with no belt? So how does that? I mean, look, I'm not even trying to diss you right now, Isha. You know I love you. It's like you're gonna sit here and tell me that Charles versus Ilya without a belt main event pay-per-view. Like, dude, I would love to see that fight, but you're telling me like that's the moneymaker right there. Over Conor McGregor versus Ilya Taporia without a belt or for the BMF. Both of them will probably be for the BMF to be fair. The UFC hasn't lost money on the cards since 2018. Check their reported earnings. Yeah, they don't. I don't. In my opinion, they don't need to like. We gotta have the one that gets the fans dollar. Like people are gonna buy money anyway. Fuck these belts. Fuck the rankings. Auras make fights. What's up, Matua? Good to see you, man. Hey, I'm with you, man. But it's like whenever we matchmake, we have to take into account the UFC's business model, as stupid as it is. You know. So yeah, Justin. I mean, the fact that we've been talking about this for 20 minutes is like Justin's in a weird. The lightweight division is in a weird spot, and Justin Gaethje is in a weird spot. I don't know, man. I personally like. I think him versus Ilya is a good fight, but I'm just kind of going back and forth because I don't know. I don't know if you really should do that. You know what? I think Armin and I'm with Daniel Hernandez. Like Armin versus Gaethje, it's a good fight. I like that fight the most. I think each have insane followings. Such a great co-main, and their agents and management would love it. Makes it easier for the UFC to make that fight if everyone wants to make money on that one. UFC made 145-pound WMMA title fights, main events with co-mains being the real main. Let's be honest. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So in Isha's world, Charles Oliveira versus Ilya Taporia, co-main event. What do you do with Islam? And what do you do with Armin? And what do you do with Ilya? Because it's like, what do you do with those three? How does the division move on with Charles versus Charles versus Ilya. Justin versus Armin. And then what do you do with Islam? You just have him wait it out or do you have him move up? I'm not saying it's better than examples you shared. I think if Ilya doesn't get the title shot, then that's a good fight. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, lightweight's clogged to shit, man. It's a quandary that lightweight's in for sure. All right, let's move to the next fight. Turner versus Bahamundes. Dude, I'd rather see a new matchup than the same guys fighting over and over again than losing to Islam. Yeah, dude, I'm 100% with you. Jalen Turner. Ignacio about to unclog 155. Dude, this fight started so fast. Like, guys were throwing him. Jalen Turner. I mean, it says he took him down. I think it was a failed takedown attempt from Ignacio, and then I can't remember exactly how it got to the ground. Time to shovel, then eat Quick Trip. Dude, are you guys still got snow up there, dude? Damn. Dude, shout out to you, Isha. One of our main supporters of this channel. Helped us get started. Fucking giving me a lot of advice for free. On the YouTube side of things. Dude, you're the man, man. I appreciate you, Isha. Thank you. Yeah, anyway, and then Turner's on top, and we're like, oh shit, this is bad. Bahamundes is going to get fried here. He's landing good shots. is Turner, and then goes up a triangle. Turner kind of tries to get out for a second, but then Ignacio kind of readjusts the grip, and now he's got Turner in a choke, and then there's a tap. And I'm like, dude, I didn't know Ignacio had it like that, man. I know he had it like that. I didn't know he could sub you too. God damn, man. This guy, dude. This guy just continues to impress me. Young cat. Gotta love Ignacio Bahamundes, man. I'm gonna hit you up later to talk about one in Denver. Bet. I'll be here. I'll be here all week, my friend. Bahamundes, man. What do you do next with Bahamundes? You got to think he'll have a ranking because Jalen Turner was 13th in the division. Him versus Benny. Why not? Why don't you do him versus BSD? Nah. He just beat. Got to think Patty Pimblett, Michael Chandler's going to switch things up too. Dude, this division so you know what? Never mind. I'm not even going to try to matchmake for him because this division's so fucked up. Do you think Aaron Pico would be in the UFC? I think he's rumored to be in the UFC like soon. I would love to see Aaron Pico in the UFC. Gamrot, yeah. I love it. Turner had a very small window to explode up and out to escape that dude. And he kind of tried it, right? And then just at the perfect moment, Ignacio just kind of readjusts his grip and tightens it up. Ignacio Baja Blast Sabamundes. Love it. Dude, I haven't seen you in a little while, Matua, so it is good to see you, man. If Chandler wins, lightweight is cooked. I'm going to pick Chandler in that match. I don't care. I like Michael Chandler, man. I know I'm out on that, but I'm going to pick him to win. Dude, I can't even matchmake for Bahamundes right now because this fucking division, this just sucks. Lemos beats Lucindo in a pretty pedestrian level fight. How about Lemos, man? She's just beats these young girls and nothing, no diddy. Dude, Mauricio RUFFY. If you guys want, maybe I'll post my reaction to this KO. It's hard to watch Hank dig up his nose the whole stream. Good to see his skates. Apparently, he's been dealing with a sinus infection the last couple weeks. Hey, man, I don't really watch his streams. To be fair, like I probably should more. So yeah, man, you guys give him the constructive criticism he needs. Maybe he'll come around. Hank on the snow. Hank Snow. Chandler was in my best friend's little brother's music video, so respect. Dude, you told me about that. Like that's crazy. Thoughts on Jalen Turner's IQ? He was doing the right things. He just got caught in a triangle. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna sit here and rag on Jalen Turner. I've never been very high on him. He's a huge lightweight. I don't think his IQ is exceptional, but I don't think it's like the worst. Ruffy versus Bahamundes. It's too. We got to get some of these guys out of the top 10 in lightweight, man. I mean, because let me just read it off one more time. You have Islam as a champ, Arman Sarukian at 1, Charles Oliveira at 2, Justin Gaethje at 3, Dustin Poirier at 4, Max Holloway at 5, Dan Hooker at 6, Michael Chandler at 7. Full stop. That's the top 7 at lightweight, dude. Like, okay, let's do Ruffy versus Bahamundes, and then now only one of them moves on. Like, I like to see Ruffy versus Bahamundes when they're both ranked in the top 15. Turner is winning every fight until he's not. He's kind of the opposite of Brian Ortega, right? Like Ortega loses every fight till he just wins, you know? But anyway, I'm gonna post my reaction, I think, to this knockout. Bro. I literally I was just like, oh my god. And then I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? But I do like Bobby Green. I know a lot of people don't like Bobby Green or King Green. Can understand that. Um, so I was just like, damn, man, shit. But that's knockout of the year so far. I mean, I don't know how you look at that and you don't have that as number one contender right now for knockout of the year. But then you kind of, as amazing as the kick was, you kind of sit there and you're like, dude, is Bobby Green just like done? Like, is he just completely washed? Is his chin gone? Because you got to think like a couple of years ago, Bobby Green either gets hit with that and he's still on his feet, or he just evades it entirely, right? And maybe I'm wrong, but I was just like, man, as sick as that knockout was, I mean, or um, maybe Bobby Green is just washed, man. So I would like to see Hoofy versus Benoit Saint Denis. For me, it's how seamlessly he threw a lead hook into the wheel, dude. Like, and here, Joe Rogan's like always fucking blowing this guy, and he's bringing up Conor McGregor every time. He looks just like Conor McGregor. It's like, dude, I don't think Conor McGregor ever landed a spinning wheel kick that clean and fucking just slept the guy. Um, what do you think is going on in the Fighting Nerds, bro? This just happens sometimes. Like, look at what happened with City Kickboxing, with Kai Car France, Izzy, those two. I mean, Brad Riddell was on a good streak. Olberg, like, this happens sometimes where camps just pop up and they're just taking over the sport, man. And for me, the Fighting Nerds is one of those camps. You got to get Bruno Brazil some better training, or I don't know what they got to do with her, but Prates, Silva, Braulio, and Hoofy, like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, that's like having back when the Lakers had Kobe and Shaq, Team Alpha Male and the Ludwiger. Yup. Tell him, dude. I just you gotta wonder, like, how high do we rate this knockout? Obviously it's KO of the year, but it's like, dude, you knocked out a pretty much washed Bobby Green. So I'm still gonna reserve some judgment on Hoofy. I still like Silva the most. Braulio is probably the most accomplished so far. Like, has beaten the best names. Silva, in my opinion, has the most potential. Prates is right up there, but Hoofy is like, he's lowest on the list right now for me. Their team is way deeper than that. Go on Topology and click the Fighting Nerds team. Yeah, sure. That's cool. those are like the four most notable in my mind right now. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. Thank you for that, Emo Volkanovski. All right, let's get to the next fight. Oh, Joshua Van versus Ray Saruya. Pretty simple one here. Joshua Van just outgunned Ray Saruya, who came to wrestle. Dude, he landed a spinning back elbow on Joshua Van at one point, but Van did really good defending the takedowns, not being held on the ground for too long. Officially, Saruya is credited with 4 takedowns and 3.5, almost 4 minutes of control time. Van looked fantastic, kept his composure the whole time. Really good fight for Joshua Van. Not so much for Ray Saruya. He's got a lot to work on. This was an easy fight to predict for me. But yeah, man, a good win for Joshua Van. Pereira versus Petrosian, another fight, sort of like Bahamundes and Turner, where you're like, oh, like, in my opinion, it was like, okay, Armin's gonna win if this goes to the decision. Bruno's gonna win by knockout in the first round, and we get past the first round. It was a weird round. Petrosian gets a point taken for kicking Pereira in the dick twice, and then all of a sudden, Pereira just gets the guy on his back, and what did he tap him with? It says it right here. An armbar. Yeah, you're just like, oh, all right. We all have better ground game than Petrosian. Racer about to be the Japanese Marab. That gas tank was out of control. Even for a loss, the relentless pursuit of the takedown is very insane. Yeah. 21 takedowns he is shot for. That is no joke. For over 15 minutes, bro. I agree with you, man. It was just weird, like, to see. I didn't know Pereira had it like that either. He could just armbar you. You know? And then you had Morano versus Leal. Some people in my chat were cooking Carlos Leal for not making it sloppy with Alex Morano. In my opinion, it was a fantastic performance. Beat the absolute dog shit out of Morano. Just on him like fucking white on rice, you know? Beat the absolute shit out of him. You almost would have liked to see him put him out cold, but the stoppage was good. Alex Morano sucks, so I understand why people were kind of upset he didn't finish him more. He kind of had a little bit of a dogfight with him. He was hitting him with everything, and here's Alex Morano still just winging shots. You know, tough as nails, but yeah, man, this was lamb to a slaughter right here. Santos versus Marshall. This is where the card, like these two fights, I was getting worried for the judging because, in my opinion, I had Francis Marshall winning 2 rounds. I didn't really see the case for Santos, but one of those rounds was close enough. I guess it was weird. I wouldn't say it's a robbery, but I was just like, I don't know, man. And same with Ozzy Diaz versus Santos. I thought Santos won pretty clearly, 2 rounds. I mean, they have the total strikes pretty even, but seemed like Santos landed significantly more shots. But yeah, 2 very weird decisions to start the card off, so I was kind of unsure for the rest of the card. But yeah, man, there it is right there. Props to Morano for taking all those shots on the chin and getting folded out and not getting folded out cold. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, dude, Leal is cooking him. Alex Morano looks like Deadpool without a mask. That's kind of mean. I called that Santos robbery in the middle of the third. My parlays were all saved because of the Marion Santos robbery. You guys thought it was a robbery? I didn't see it as a robbery. You know what? Let's do this right here. Why don't we? If you'd like to, you guys can come in the chat. We can talk about whatever you want. If not, probably go another 5 minutes and wrap this bad boy up. I do appreciate everybody for hopping in the stream. Isha with the $2. A gift, yeah, a gift is better than a robbery, I think. I had both Santos boys win in that fight, personally. Oh, before we go, we do have to talk about something very important. I think we'll get an interview with so you guys have I've gotten some suggestions. I've gotten Bryce Mitchell for an interview, Patty Pimblett, or I think Alex Pereira. Let me know which one you guys would want to see more. I'm gonna go back and watch that Marshall fight because I trust your judgment. All right, bet. The judging in the first two was horrible. I agree. But yeah, let me know. You want a Bryce Mitchell interview, a Patty Pimblett interview. What was the other? Or Alex Pereira. I think we're gonna do Alex Pereira first. But yeah, the next one, should it be Bryce or Patty? Not the answer is Bryce Mitchell. We're gonna have to figure out how to not make that one go off the rails for sure. We got to talk about this though. We have to talk about the Tapology Pick'em League before I go. It'll make it just about an hour as well. Check it out. Bryce Mitchell with a no bullying campaign. Fuck the fighting nerds. Bryce. Okay, you guys asked for it, so I will suggest we do the Bryce Mitchell interview. But yeah, so Dana White pay-per-view. I don't know who that is, to be fair. Campbell Booth too. Benjamin XBT XB8. And there I am at 4th next to Alex Smolin, Devon, BT, crossover, Dougie Davis, very good picker. Sean Moody at 10. Dude, stepping up his pick'em game for sure. In the Granite and Shiloh tied with Sean Moody. But there he is. Hank the Tank down at 14th. His lowest finish for the year, actually. We still got, what did he get? 7 out of 10? Yeah, 7 out of 10. Not bad. Not bad. He had a lot of finishes, and there wasn't too many on the card. Wheaties down there at 16th. Let's find some other friends of ours. Not in the AM, bro, at 28, bro. You only picked 3 fights, right? Come on, man. I thought you watched this show. We do a preview show, man. I don't know if you knew that. John Silva belongs in a kennel with the rest of the... Whoa! Wow. I love seeing Bryce get heated over John not letting him get out the Bible verse. Valejos, Musasa, Blackshear, Nurs, Goze. Should all win next week. All right. Yeah, and we'll talk about it. Come to the preview and pick'em show on Tuesday. We'll break that card down. But yeah, man, look, 5-3 now per 8 events. I'm up 2 again on Hank. That poor guy, man. That poor guy. Guys, next time you see him, try to cheer him up a little bit. I know he's gonna be hurting after this one. I'm taking my victory lap right now. All right, let me have this. I don't have much in life. All right. W Idaho, yeah, 100%. I mean, if we just kind of look back through, like, dude, and like dude, I always flop. Like once in a while, I get like 25th. Hank won last time. There's 6. I got 6, so 4th, 6th, 3rd. Hank was right there at 4th. Dude, he's won 2 events so far. Like, okay, 13th. Still got 8 fights correct. So 13th is my lowest finish so far. 2nd. 1st. Oh, wait a sec. 13th again. Okay. Dude, no, but honestly, though, like, both of us have been doing fantastic this year on our picks. I can't believe Hank's won 2 events. Half my losses were robberies. No excuses. No excuses, my friend. But yeah, man. Matua, Larry, Nane Ambro, Andrew A., all you guys, man. I appreciate you guys joining me for this little UFC Sunday wrap-up. Got some laundry to do. It is Sunday, so it's time to catch up on chores. Hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday. Doing whatever the hell you guys are doing. I'm going to post in the community tab. Maybe we'll do a live chat tomorrow, and we'll kind of just talk about what's coming up for the weekend. We'll try to film an interview with Bryce Mitchell by popular demand for you guys. Yeah. All right. Let us know any suggestions you want to do for the show. Guys, I've been slacking the last couple months. I just had to drive to Vegas. Life's been kind of crazy. Some shit came up, personal shit. So I was kind of in a bad mood there for a couple weeks. But we're going to get back to it. We're going to get back to all the 7 days of content a week for you guys. Appreciate all of your guys' support, man. We wouldn't have this channel if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you very much. I got to get up out of here, though. It's time for some laundry. And everyone have a good weekend. Remember, fighting is supposed to be fun.